Hello and welcome to the Crypto Day Morning. Today's date, Monday, October the 29th, 2018. I'd like to welcome you to this channel. All trades, bets, and of the like within one's own risk and their own reward. For me, risk-reward management is always job number one. And within Bitcoin, what are we seeing today? A little bit of a change. It's went down a bit. It's been as low as 62.61. That's volatility for the day differential of 160 basis points. A little over 2.5%, so that's a change. It's went below the 18 average of lows, albeit it hasn't broken the trend. It's made a statement that it's changing things up. I'm still going to be looking for any failed move in the opposite direction of any real move that comes into place as a possibility. So am I going to be like question mark with the first move? Do I believe it? I don't know. Meaning, okay, so now it's made a break of this level of support. Is this now going to be a failed breakdown? Question mark for a move higher. But overall, it hasn't really changed much within this trend. It still needs to do more to convincingly break this sideways consolidation pattern. And within the single hour time frame, I mean, it just went down like really fast like that to the point on the 1 minute term. It started going down about 7:19, 7:20 p.m. Eastern time, a.m. Eastern time, down to about 7:24. It was like a 3-4 minute thing, and it was done. And since then, the markets have just recovered in the middle-ish area of where it came from. Now we can see that maybe it's a possibility it goes down and tests these lows. Well, also maybe it's a possibility it comes back and tests this resistance. One of the next two is most certainly going to happen. And 6100, of course, has been monstrously amazing support, and the pattern of matching lows and lower highs has not been in any change since making this technical lower high on the October 15th session. It hasn't even tested a possible lower high, which it still can. 6600, all sixes and lower. 6614, 6592, 6550 are potential lower high areas amongst the way. I was surprised just to see this one come into play. As far as some comments are concerned, on yesterday's video, smart money is loading up on shorts. All move once they are all in. Well, we'll wait and see what the situation is on it, because I haven't seen anything yet to well, because the pattern has stayed in play of matching lows and lower highs, then it's got to break it at one side, and breaking down support means that 3,000 number I talk about. Christy, and I'm not going to try to pronounce the last name. Yeah, maybe I will. Labarca. Derek, so happy you're still making videos and are around. I have fell off for a little while. Hope things are going good, or you managed to take care of what you've needed to. I took a little break, so relieved to see you're still here. My content is much appreciated. There are very few people that Christy trusts on YouTube, me being one of them, with the content that I produce. Thank you very much. Adrian Powell, hi, I have followed you now for well over a year and love to buy low, sell high system. I do have a question I hope you can help me with. In your opinion, what would you class as a top, like say 10 or 15 altcoins for swings with buy low, sell high system? One reply by Chris Daniels, Adrian Powell is open up your trading view, use volume indicator and 2 weighted averages like you see myself do. And well, I know a lot of people do that, but I know what he's asking for is which are the ones that I like the best. And it's really not a fair answer for me to give, although I do have a best answer that I can make. And that answer would be to take coins that you think are going to either go up long term or are very good for choppy back and forth action. Right now, coins like gold and silver work out for that perfectly, because they're completely choppy now, which I think are going to go up long term, but you're not able to trade that on the crypto market. One of the coins that I decided to go with was like Theta, just because of all of this woo-woo talk that was going on about it. And maybe they'll be right, maybe they'll be wrong, but I ain't going to do a better job at trying to find the coins that I think are going to be so magnificent. I'll go with what I have, with what I know, but I'm not the type of person that's very good at just say being the judge jury on the coins, on how good they are, being a handicapper like in sports to try to figure out like who the best teams are, who the best coins are. That's not who I am, but I do realize that coins like that, if it can go up long term, it's going to work. If you will have moves that are very volatile, that's what we're looking for, where they have whatever can be in your advantage on the moves going up and down towards you is what you're looking to have. Now, Cloak is one that I felt is that's the only one I can most firmly put in a top 10 list. It would be probably high amongst the top 10. And throwing that aside, within Theta, I did sell this yesterday. I sold it at about the 98 number, 98.5-ish. So pretty much near that top. The top was the even 1,000 handle. So I'm buying at 903, which is close to a 10% decline. This to me is moving in a range-bound market. I thought about going around the 830, 820 number and play the lower end of the range. Rather, this area here is back to where it came from, back to the 18 average of lows. It's a 10% move. I technically realize that if I'm playing this area, it's like 885, but for like a differential of like 1 or like 2%, I'll take the 903 and then just keep trading 903 and 1,000 until it stops. And below 900, I'll buy at 800. And my next sale, because I feel if it's going to break this level of resistance in here around the 1,000 even number, that it's going to have a decent gain. So that's why I want to sell for a 20% move. So that's the first trade that I made within the last 24 or so hours. The next one was Singularity.net or Singularity.net. Maybe that is the web page. Either way, AGI is a ticker symbol, which has had a lot of big resistance at around the 979 key area. And last night, or yesterday afternoon rather, it came up to 989. So that's 10 basis points higher than where the sell that I had in at 979. It is now back down to 900 as it has this nice correctionary move so far. But that means that I'm going to have to now be selling higher and buying lower. So I remove the 755 buy order. I removed all my other sell orders and put new ones in. And I basically put 3 orders in for sell, 1 for buy in situations like this. So within here, I got a buy order in at 852, which represents the resistance on October 13, represents the support in here. But most importantly, represents a differential of about 140 basis points on the 1,000 handle. That represents about 14%. And we're looking at about, well, from 100 to 115, that's about a 15% differential to this level. It's a good leg higher from this level of resistance if it's going to break out. So what I'll do, at least with Binance, it makes with my basic minimum holding coins like this, is I'll put 3 sell orders in. I'll put 1 in for the near term, again 1149, and then I'll put 1 in for a decent gain like 1,800, 1,700. Something that's like a 60, 50, 40, 30, 50, 80% depending on the coin and situation, the volatility from this, and sell a good amount, maybe like 30% of what I own remaining at that point. And then within Binance, you can only do moves of 10x differential on current price. So with current price right now is 895, or in the case when it was well over 900. I put a sell order in for like, well, less than 10 times. So that would be like 9,000 or like 8,700. And then sell everything. Because if it goes that high, I'm going to want to get out of coins. Just get out of it. At least for the short run, intermediate run. And B, if there's some sort of weird glitch where somebody just buys it up that much all at once within the day, I'm most certainly going to short-term sell everything and look to get back within the next few days, or hopefully, like literally, like it's going to be like one of those 1 minute buys where some whale or someone with just a huge amount of income makes a mistake within the platform buying, or is just not smart enough yet with an experience to understand how to buy, where they just buy up like a whole whack amount and they literally buy every order on the book kind of deal. Something like that happens, I'll be thankful for it to be a part of it. But anyway, that is the singularity. Let's take a look next at Litecoin against Bitcoin. And I've had 2 trades actually get executed within such, as this has just happened recently. Because as I was about to start this video, I didn't have the 780 handle get bought. Right now it's down to the 77 handle. I bought at 80, which means I'm going to move this up to like here. And then this will get moved up below here. I haven't put the order end for the 78 handle, but I already did for the 80. I would have put it in at around 860 something, like 869. And then the next one after 869 would be like 850, 855, 854. That I'll put a sell order in for. And I got another buy order ready to go here if it happens. Let's take a look at this 15 minutes. Yeah, again, it just happened because how many minutes ago on the 15? It started at October 29th. Okay. So that is Litecoin. Maybe I have even more trades done because the last trade that I thought I'd made was Komodo, and we're not quite there yet. But let's move on to the next coin. And Poly, a sale against Binance at the 33.21 handle level. Sweet. Okay. So this is at the upper end of the range on the Binance coin, but it's really not up too much overall from the lows. Like 1400 handle up to about 36. Why that's important is because when some of these coins just have extreme gains, I just want to get out. And you know what? It's got a long ways to go. I like how this has been hugging the 18 average of highs for a while, now just starting to make its breakout amongst this point. As far as the next 2 orders or how I've adjusted them right now on Poly. Buy order at 2811, which represents this previous level of resistance in here, and a sell order at 38.95. Taking a look at this on, say, a 3-hour time frame, we can see how, again, this was resistance here, and you're going to come back to on this point, and not buying that many more, just a handful more than I had before, but a gain in the base currency. And in situations with coins like this, I'm looking to on base or on average, sometimes volatility will change it to sell about 10% of what I own for that of around a 15 to 20% gain. What I would like to do is sell about 30% of what I own for a gain that's around double or better, or even a 3x gain, but unless volatility says that's easy to go after, I'm not going to do that. And I don't see it easy to go after right now. So that is how that is on Polymath. Now, interesting with Poly, I'm just going to put in the other Poly codes in. First, we're going to take a look at it against Bitcoin. But I want more data, so I want to take a look at the Bittrex information. And we'll move this to the daily term, which within it, you can see 18 average showing all the strength at the highs, and now this is day 3 or even 4 of leaving the 18 average of highs. So very good run. Yeah, it's got to pull back. Yeah. Does it have to do it now? Maybe. And here, buy orders, I'd be looking at 4,000 if I was trading it against Bitcoin. But we can see here, if it's going to have a big run, it's got a long ways to go to its April Fool's rally high. This thing had a run of going from like, well, where it is now at 4,700 up to about 14,000. So it could have a lot of leg room to the upside. It actually had a lot of leg room to the downside, so that's what I like about these very volatile moving markets. Now, as far as volume's concerned on here, interesting story. Bittrex has been trading it for a while. You know what? Nothing too magnificent, but if we take a look at this on Binance, the volume paints a much different picture. As we can see here, that ever since this day on October 17th, well, a lot more people interested in, at least on the Binance site, within this market. Generally speaking, I like to see volume like this to start moves, which has been the case. I also, when markets are going up, I'm looking for high volume to indicate key tops. And right now, if it's just a fraction of where it was, I need to see this, at this stage, break this level of volume here to be very confident on a move going on a big up move that, okay, maybe this thing is topped and is going to have a decent time and or price correction. So I don't see that yet as of now. Komodo is next, and as we can see, the 2081 number, well, price is 2073 now, so that was a buy order filled at 2081 within the single hour time frame. This thing ended up breaking support, and well, obviously the buy order has been filled. Now with Komodo, I trade this at very small intervals, as I'm going to move those lines and they're not going to move too much. As far as a sell, it would probably be easy for me to do it this way. 2288. As far as my next buy, it's actually a long ways away. It's one of those rare situations where it's based on the numbers, because it's definitely not in a great mathematical formula, but to give you an idea on how they've been placed, 2031 is my next one. Below that, 2002, 1991 below that, then 1961, 1933, 1901, and 1876. Every time I sell, I try to buy about 100% of the Bitcoin that I received in the sell order I want to use to buy back. So that means for every one that I sell, I'm going to get back somewhere close to 1.1. So 2031. It's a 50-point differential, so that's a little bigger than normal for me. And that is where I'll be buying next, is in that area there, which is this level of previous resistance as well. Overall, all of these moves, I mean, there was all buying up here, selling back, buying here, selling, buying. You know, it's kind of fun. It's really not. But it's pretty cool to win when you do. And I was wondering why it was a big number. I actually bought at 2057 as well. So I do have another order. So we're going to have to move 2288 down. So let's sell it. I want to do well over 1%. So that would be 59. 2259, like 2260 basically, is where the next sell order. That makes so much more sense now. And as of now, it's 8:41 a.m. Eastern Time. That is it for my trades amongst this. Now, DENT has an interesting setup. At least it did before I started this video. So let's take a look at DENT. Right now up 5%. It was up 10. So I mean, it's a small Satoshi number, but what I like about this pattern is all that it's done from these lows, which is back in August, is have this rally to a point of about close to 60, in at 59. Pull back to a higher low multiple hit area of 31, while it resisted between 35 and 39. Then on the October 22 date, it had a lower high rally from this point, but it broke out of this here, making a higher high of resistance. It basically broke resistance. And then over a span of about 5 days, it came back to the 18 average of highs. It supported an area of resistance from before. And then the day after, which was yesterday, it left the 18 average of highs. Today, a continuation higher, as it has matched the previous resistance high in here. That if it's able to get above this level as it's playing out, and I'd like to see this come on a decent volume, and it kind of is, so that's all good to see as well. But getting above here, 46, if I see this thing at 40, the bid at 46 and the ask at 47, then I'm going to be pretty confident there's a good chance this thing might have a nice little interesting move that would be then following to the upside further thereafter that. So then, thank you for tuning in to this video. If I make a lot of trades today, I'll put up a nighttime video. If not, I'll see you for tomorrow morning's Crypto Day morning. Take care. Bye-bye.